I'm Gary Porter, and I'm 51 years old, and I'm live in Midhurst, Ontario, which is just outside of Barrie, Ontario. I have 3 lovely children. I have 3 grandchildren, Courtney, Braden, and Mason. And I have a lovely wife, Beverly. My schooling consists of, I went to a technical school, which they to do trades. I went out on work experience my first year and never went back. I got a girl pregnant, ended up marrying her, so I was 16 when I got married and had a first child at 17. I work for a family business. I do own it now, my brother and I, but at the time my father owned it, and I could never do the clerical or the office work. I was always had to have one eye on the door just to make sure that if somebody was coming in, I could find something else to do. I did not feel comfortable doing that. The spelling, I figured if I had to ask them how to spell their name or something, that they'd see right through me. We used to write checks or pay with cash. I used to take the kids grocery shopping. My wife would work afternoons, and I would sit out in the parking lot, and even it was easy enough to IGA, but I would put IGA on that check just because once I got up to the till, I'd get hot, I'd get sweaty, I'd get nervous, and I couldn't spell. I just draw blank. So even putting IGA helped. So then once I got it, I could spell or put the numerals in there, but to spell the numerals, I could not do it. So I would just have to sort of like they call chicken scratch. To come to the Barrie Literacy Council, I was 40 years old and just through my second divorce. And my ex-mother-in-law was actually a tutor here. And so I knew about it, just vaguely. So I found myself coming home and drinking at night, coming home from work, because it was an empty house. So I didn't know what else to do. So then I realized, I said, either I'm going to become a drunk or I'm going to do something to better myself. So that's where I headed, to the Barrie Literacy Council to start my journey. It was very scary coming into the office for the first time, but my fears were put to ease very quickly from the staff that worked here. My assessor, asked about the family, and at that time my stepdaughter was going to university, and she asked me to spell university. And I looked at her like, is this lady crazy or what? But with her sounding it out for me, I was able to get through it, and then, sort of see that, how a big word like that I could actually, sound out and spell. I was working with my tutor, and I always had trouble putting sounding syllables out. And I worked on it, and it was just one night I was working on it, and it just, something clicked in my brain. I can't describe it. And from that moment on, look out, I had that confidence, and I was raring to go. But I always made sure I had my homework done, because I figured if this person is volunteering for me to teach me how to read and write, that I was going to put in full effort, 100%, so I wasn't wasting her time or my time. It was like I won $1 million when I got my grade 12 equivalency. But it wasn't until I got my envelope in the mail, and it was like, I got my GED, and I was yelling in the truck by myself, and I ran in the house and started screaming and jumping up and down. It was like the best thing that happened in my life besides my kids. But yeah, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. The executive director asked me, I was doing a small group at the time, and she asked me, she said, we need a student to sit on our board of directors. Would you be interested? And I said, me? What can I contribute? Like, I had no idea. So the first few meetings were very nervous. I didn't really participate too much. I just seen what was going on, and then as time went on, I seen how I could give my opinion and the student's perspective. And I learned that the board members had different skills than I had, but I had skills that the board members didn't have. So we're all equal. And that gave me confidence, and I stayed on the board for 3 or 4 years, and then moved up to vice chair, and to chair. And I believe I'm the first one in Ontario that I know of, anyways, that went from student to chair. And it's a nice thing to accomplish. I wanted to do it to show other adult learners that no goal is you can achieve any goal you want to. You just have to put your mind to it. It's just that's since I've had my grade 12, I just want to give back to the cause, to literacy, and just trying to inspire other adult learners to where I was, and they can get from where they are now, and they can achieve any goal that they're after too. Volunteers, without volunteers, we would not have an organization. Volunteers are a big part, and like I say, without it, we wouldn't have them. They're just lovely people, and they want to help people, and that's what they're here to do. And I've seen, the volunteers, when they're working with their students, they get a lot out of it too. And I see that. But I mean, without the volunteers, I would never be where I am today, and nobody would. I would just say that you'll get out of it just as much as the person that you're going to help. It's an awesome feeling. I just know from my volunteer work what it's like to volunteer and to actually see helping. You can actually help somebody. It's a really good feeling inside. And I would, if I met somebody with low literacy, which I have in my where I've been in, I just tell them that just give it a try. You can't lose. It doesn't cost any money to come to this organization, literacy organizations, and you'll just start feeling better about yourself. You'll be able to, if you have children, you'll be able to help your children. Your children will, break the cycle. It's a lot of years I've been involved, but I'm not stopping here. For LVQ and their volunteers, and it's a special week. It's to honor the students and volunteers. And just remember, if you want it, you can get it. There's nothing that can stop you if you really, really want it. And it's a joy. It's a joy. It's a happy celebration. It's a happy week celebrating what actually we can achieve. And it's a celebration for the volunteers, because without them, we're celebrating them and they're celebrating themselves.